chicken. You cannot do that to my chicken.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Guys, welcome to the show. It is episode number 97 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and after the fact on the audio podcast. Take just a minute, share us out on Facebook, share us out on YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio podcast, thank you so much for listening to us while you drive down the road or work out, whatever it is you do while you listen to your audio podcast. We appreciate that. Take also just a minute on the podcast platform that you listen on. Give us a quick rating. We really appreciate that. It definitely helps us expand our reach a little bit so we can get the message out there about premium cigars.
And if you are working out right now, I just want to let you know you are better than me.
Yeah. Well,
you are better.
Yeah. Ditto.
Applaud.
I worked out once.
I did too. It wasn't for me.
Just once. Yeah. So, guys, as always, live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios, and let's talk once again about the Drew Estate Liga Privada Bauhaus. The basic tenet of Bauhaus architecture is that every object must have a purpose in the design. Oh, I just breathed in a lung full of carrot cigar smoke. The new Liga Privada Bauhaus Short Robusto pays extra attention to leaf placement within the cigar, intentionally designed to take our European aficionados through a newly curated experience. The Bauhaus is a 114 millimeter by 50 Short Robusto wrapped in a rich, earthy Connecticut broadleaf Kappa, includes a bold Brazilian binder, and is completed using filler tobaccos from Honduras and Nicaragua. The Liga Privada Unico Serie Bauhaus is packaged in an elegant gold embossed 12-count box. The Liga Privada Unico Serie Bauhaus, now available at EU retailers through Drew Estate's European distributors. For more info, please visit drewestate.com. So that was a first. We're in the middle of the opening read, and Garrett had just lit up his cigar, and I just took a lung full of foot smoke.
Well, there is a ton of foot smoke on this cigar.
No, this is going to be a good show, guys. We're really excited for tonight. So before we bring on our special guest, we want to we had a special show a couple days ago, but we talked a little bit, before the fact about the Super Bowl, and that game happened yesterday. You might have seen it on TV.
Yeah,
there was a little game called the Super Bowl, and I was expecting Tampa Bay to win, but I didn't expect that. I did not expect an absolute hammering. It was pretty. It was. That was. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense absolutely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs. What is arguably the top two offenses in the league. Green Bay and Kansas City, I would argue, are the top two defenses in the league, or offenses in the league, rather.
Now, I will say that had Kansas City had their two stud tackles, it could have been a different game.
It could have, because Patrick Mahomes was running for his life the whole game.
No time. It looked like a Vikings offensive line. It really did.
It did.
So I picked Kansas City, and I don't know why.
I don't blame you.
They're damn good, but
they were favored by most of the the odds makers. They were favored by 3.5 points.
You look at Tom Brady.
That's why I couldn't.
Who is 70% when he gets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To even have a statistic like that, like I'm 70% when I get to the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, that's legendary. And I've seen comments from people who are like, Tom Brady is garbage, or Tom, and not too many, but just on one thread. And this guy was like, he just wins because the league is in love with him. Really? The refs somehow make him throw for over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions? Come on.
Garrett, where do you park your lowrider?
Bro, in the my body-o, bro.
Oh, man.
Come at me.
So, yeah, it was a good game, and I'm looking forward to, now that the NFL season's over, a little more hockey. I'm definitely looking forward to baseball, which is,
Yeah.
Pitchers and catchers report soon, actually, for a lot of teams. So
and
we're getting
commercials
close.
sucked this year.
Super Bowl commercial? Yeah. I didn't really pay attention to the commercials.
There was a couple that were good, but the commercials were super subpar.
I did like the with the Cheetos one with Shaggy. That was pretty solid.
That was good. Yeah. And then the face sweater. I don't even know who that's for.
The face sweater?
The sweater and the like.
That was Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Yeah, but what's it for?
The product they were advertising, I honestly don't remember. That's the problem, isn't it? You remember the commercial, you don't remember what the hell the product was.
And that's what Saturday Night Live did a spoof on that.
Yeah.
Where they made like this super like, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. Go check it out.
Yeah. So as always, viewers and listeners, while we're watching tonight, let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking along with us in the comments. And let's bring on our special guest of the evening. And as always, guys, special guests on How About That Cigar Live are brought to you by Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers you the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars containing Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, President and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Mr. Jeff Borshowitz, believed it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona Cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Lake Mary, and also the Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. For more info, please visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, without further ado, put your hands together. Welcome to How About That Cigar Live, episode 97. Henderson Ventura. Brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Matt. Very glad to be on your show. First time, glad to meet you. Thank you for the invitation to the show.
Yeah, and you are coming to us from Santiago?
Yeah, Santiago, Dominican Republic.
So the DR, what's the temperature there?
Right now it's around 19 Celsius. That's about, I will say,
about 70,
65.
67, 68. Yeah.
So that's now
that's cold for us.
Yeah, that is cold for you. So get this, bro. Right now, where Garrett and I are sitting, I mean, we're sitting in my heated studio right now, but right outside the door, it is -6 Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. -6.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I never experienced that.
It is not nice.
You don't want to experience it. It's not worth it.
No. The lowest that I ever experienced, it was like a 23 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, we'd be wearing shorts and t-shirts if it was that warm.
Yeah, we were hardcore.
That's amazing.
Dude, so I got a package from a mutual friend of ours of your cigars and some swag. And I got to say that this hat is like my favorite hat of all the hats that we've ever received.
Swag is legit.
Dude, it is so good. Like the artwork on this thing, the flat bill, it fits me perfectly. And I'm ready to just cholo out in this thing, bro. It's so good.
Do you know that it's like not really my style of the hat that I use? But when I was designing that hat, I was like, nah, like let me create something like the match with every line that we have. But by that time, we just have 3 lines out in the portfolio. So it was the Explorer, the Navigator, and the Conquer. So it's like a red, blue, black. So I was like, let's design something that like identify each line. So that's why we created the design and the side of the logo. So every hat is different.
Yeah, it's dope. I love it.
Yeah.
So right now, Garrett and I just fired up these beautiful bad boys. And you got that too. So tell us about and not only tell us about what we're smoking, but if you're drinking a little something along with us, tell us what you got there too.
So right now I'm drinking Italian wine. That have a lot of body. You know, Italian wine they knows to have like a little higher percentages of alcohol. So it's a wine that have a lot of body, and I think it's perfect to match and to pair with that cigar because that cigar have a lot of body also, a lot of flavor. Uh, I will say it's medium plus in the strength of medium to full, but full flavor. So I think is matched perfectly.
Yeah.
So
And this is called the Royal Return.
Or is this one called the Royal Return? Yeah.
the Royal Return and that specific cigar we call it the King's Gold.
King's
So
Gold.
the Royal Return is like one line that come with two different blends.
Okay.
So one is the Crisper, that is a Connecticut Cordero wrapper. And then the King's Gold is Maduro Connecticut broadleaf. And both of the blend are totally different. So
And how many vitolas in each?
so on the Queen's Pearl we have three Vitolas, Corona, Robusto, and Toro. And King's Gold we have just Robusto and Toro. But
Okay.
this year, in some point this year, we're gonna release the Corona on that blend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this
Already made. It's already made.
It's already made, so they'll be shipping sometime this year.
Yeah, it's just aging. So whenever it's ready to go, we're gonna release the cigar.
Well, this King's Gold, one of the things I get right off the bat is, and I'm a big Connecticut broadleaf guy, and I love the sweetness that you get from it. A lot of times the sweetness kind of mixed with spice, but this one, the sweetness coming off of this thing, it's like brown sugar. It's really solid.
And tons of smoke output, as you could tell when I lit it up and nearly killed Matt. It is just delicious.
So the whole point with that cigar, I love Connecticut broadleaf. It's one of my favorite tobacco. One of the first blend that I did when I started to blend cigar, it was a Connecticut broadleaf. So I think it blend perfectly with Dominican tobacco, and I have a crazy combination on that blend. So the whole point was to create something different to what we used to blend in the Dominican Republic, but also to create like a new whole different profile of what people are used to taste on the Connecticut broadleaf. So for me, it was to create something unique, like something fresh. Like, okay, you love Connecticut broadleaf, but when you try this Connecticut broadleaf, you need to be like, oh, this is different. So I spent a lot of time, blending tobacco, and just on that cigar, I spent at least like 3 years blending that cigar. Just changing a little bit of this, make the blend, age the cigar, smoke it, change a little bit. So I never take that long, but that cigar I just want to get on the right point that I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So I will describe that cigar like the perfect harmony between flavor and strength.
And it's really rich. There's a lot of there's a lot of body to it. The texture is very thick in the smoke. So I like that a lot. So one of the things that we always love to do with our guests is get a little bit of an idea about your history. So take us back to your history, your family's history in premium tobacco, and when you got started with even experiencing your own premium cigars.
So I come from a family of rollers. My dad been in the cigar industry over 40 years. So he started like a roller when he was around 9 years old. You know, back in the days, people used to work like early in the days, and so it was very common. And then he was supervisor, and he started to scale on the manufacturer level. And around 2004, he decided to do his own business, and he partnered up with a friend of him. And then in 2007, he started the factory that we have now. And by that time, I was 17 years old. And that's when I started to work at the cigar factory. But the thing, like before that, like the whole family being in the factory. By the summertime, it's like a summer break. That was our thing, like play baseball, and in the morning I used to go to the factory to work like part time to learn. So like I will say by the age of 12, I already was learning how to sort the tobacco, like the different grades, Jacobis and Ligero. That was the first thing that I did in the factory. So when I started, when I was 17, I already have like a whole base of what was like a cigar manufacturing. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that I didn't know by this time was like how to roll a cigar, but I have an idea. So this is something that was like a goal for me, like learn how to roll the cigar. And uh, it's been a long adventure in the cigar manufacturing. I've been around a lot of master blender. So I will say my history with the cigar being uh, from the passion of the people that work straight with the tobacco, that I have it very close. So like my uncles, my dad, my dad friends, they all master blender from different factories here in the Dominican Republic. And every Sunday morning it was like a reunion in my house, drinking coffee. It was like my house was the spot, like on the front porch. Every Sunday they were playing dominoes, drinking coffee, smoking a cigar, and talking about tobacco. So they have all that conversation every Sunday. Try that new blend, that new crop that we had. You need to try this new crop from this time. Is being aged for 2, 3 years, 4 years. We just tasting the tobacco right now. The aroma is amazing, and they were talking about the flavors, aroma, complexity, the balance of the blend, the manufacturing skills that they use in different factory. And just for me as a kid to be around that and smell the aroma of the tobacco, and be able to be all around those people and listen to those conversations all the time. So it just wake up my passion for tobacco. So
Mm-hmm.
um
Well, I got to tell you,
I
that sounds like absolute heaven. Sitting on a porch with a bunch of guys drinking coffee, smoking cigars, talking about tobacco, playing dominoes. That sounds like the best possible way to spend a Sunday morning.
Yeah, and by that time I never thought like I want to be a cigar manufacturer. Even when I was a teenager, I was like, I love economy, I love philosophy, I love politics, history, and that was my side. But at the same time, when someone lighted a cigar next to me, I was like fascinated about it. And since I was a kid, I was very curious about to smoke a cigar. So I started to try cigars very young, and when I was able to smoke cigar, I was smoking cigar like crazy. I started to smoke cigar like seriously like when I was 19, like a
Yeah.
smoking cigar every day. And I was smoking in the factory since I was 17. But I was trying, when I started in the factory, I was like trying to hire, from the people that I was smoking cigar because I was 17. And that even if my dad allowed me to smoke a cigar, it doesn't look good. So I was like working in the factory. You can work in the factory like since you have 16. Uh, but I was just like smelling the tobacco. I was like, that tobacco should be good because the smell, because this. I can't even remember like from that time, like when we first opened the factory. I remember that my dad picked up some tobacco, some very rated tobacco, and very aged. And there was a Corojo now that they grow in Dominican Republic like by 2004, 2003. And the tobacco got attacked by the blue moon. That tobacco is very popular for that. That's why one of the reasons because people doesn't grow that tobacco that much. And the tobacco have so many like yellow points on the leaf. And my dad was like, I was to my dad, that tobacco is weird, but smells super good. Like
Yeah.
you can open the bell like about 10 meters away, and you can smell the tobacco like 10 meters away from the belt.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I have a good memory for tobacco and the smell of the tobacco and the taste of the tobacco. Like if you give me a cigar like now 10 years later, I can remember the cigar.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
when did you? How old were you when you started to really get involved in helping with the blending process and things like that?
I will say about 2021.
So pretty early on.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
one of the first blend that I have some participation was on the I don't know if you ever heard about Rodrigo cigar.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
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 Yeah, so it was a cigar that was called a Rodrigo La Fortaleza. That was like a black label from Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first cigar that I had the chance to participate on the blend. And the whole
Okay.
point with that, and the whole point for me to participate in that blend, it because by that time was like a 2010, I will say, and that was like when the whole boutique movement started to explode like in a nice way, and all those big body cigars started to came up like a more into the full body, all the Nicaraguan hype, all
Yeah.
that. So George, he was trying to tell my dad to make like a full body cigar, and my dad was like a very classic, old school blended cigar between I will say mild to medium plus, but nothing full. And I was trying to translate that, and so I have some participation on the blend because from the beginning, I like the full body cigar,
Yeah.
and that's how I started to get into some of the blend in the factory, and then uh, my first blend that came out to the market that was like all me. It was the Rodrigo Corona project. That was broadleaf cigar, Connecticut
Oh
broadleaf.
yeah.
That
Okay.
was my first blend. Like that was all me. Like out in the market, and that was a limited
But-
edition that he did,
Yeah.
and his
That
last
that's
cigar in the cigar industry.
that's got to feel that. I mean, for a lot of different reasons, but that's got to feel pretty incredible for you to the because you have the ones where you have the early years where you learn about the process in the factory, and then you have those middle years where you start to uh, participate in the blending and help with the blending process. But then finally, you've got that one where it was your baby from start to finish. That's got to feel pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was tough because the thing is, when you join and you don't have like a background, have to do things, you uh, it give you some advantage that you create things that doesn't look like nothing else,
Yeah.
doesn't taste like nothing else. So you don't have a point of reference to start a blend.
Hmm.
So imagine the first cigar is all the master blended. The first thing that they have in mind is like a combustion, like a flavor, a strength. So they got like a seco, viso, ligero. pretty much all the master blend that they work into those bases. And the first blend, the Corona project, it was 100% Ligero. It was
Whoa.
three different tobacco from three different regions of the Dominican Republic, but 100% Ligero. And everybody was like, "No, that's gonna be a bad." I was like, "No, what I feel when I taste the Ligero, like a puro Ligero by itself, is a lot of flavor, not that much strength. When you feel the strength and when you mix like the Ligero with the Seco or the Viso that have a higher combustion and make the tobacco burn faster, so you feel like more spicy, more peppery, and give you like a sensation of strength. But I think the Ligero is more flavored, is more give you more flavor than all the other tobacco. So I did 100% Ligero. It was like a slower burn cigar, but the flavor on that cigar was amazing. And as all the tobacco were Ligero and they have the same grade, you have a very even burn in the cigar all the time because all the tobacco burn at the same time because all the Ligero have the same level of oil. So
Yeah.
and big leaf. So um is
And Ligero tends to burn because it's got more oil, because it's thicker, it tends to burn slower. Is that right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Is that tobacco that have the slower combustion of all.
Yeah. So then going forward a little bit, you started to make a name for yourself working with what we consider to be, some of the newer rising stars in boutique brands like Robert Caldwell and Tony Bellato and Matt Booth. So how did you start to develop relationships with those guys and work on projects with them?
So Robert, I met Robert when he first started in the cigar industry. I will say around 2011, 2012. So he was working on his project that was called a Hotel Humidor. That was like a local project that he have in Miami, like giving service to the hotels. But he wanted to do his own blend, and he was doing something with another factory. But he was he was working with a bigger factory that they wasn't paying attention to his project because it was very small.
Yeah.
So he have some recommendation from one of those factory to visit my dad. And he came to the factory to meet my dad. He tried some of my dad blends and he fall in love with. And then we were starting a relationship from that because he was like one of the youngest person that I saw to come to the factory looking for a cigar. He was very young by that time and like a kind of weird style, not very common. So we have a connection right there. He was way more quiet by that time. He was that kind of guy that you always see him like in a corner, quiet by himself, like overthinking all the time. So he kind of catch my attention. We started a friendship from that, and then like a few years later, he started his company, Wynwood in Miami. So when he started with that, I was like a very happy because it was a very cool project to have a factory in Miami, and we all the arts in the middle of Wynwood. So it was very cool. So I came to visit him, and we like tie up our relationship. And
Yeah.
after that, when that project didn't work for him, so we were very close. So we started the project for Cowboy Cigar right away, right there.
Yeah. And then not long after that, if I'm right about this, then you worked with Tony and La Barba on a few projects. Is that right?
Yeah. So Tony came like I was saying the same package with Robert because they're very good friends.
Yeah.
And they were manufacturing cigar in the same factory. So when Robert came to Dominican Republic, like Tony asked for, and they came in the next trip together, and we started to blend all those cigars like more into the Dominican style, but like in with I will say we're a younger spirit for Dominican tobacco. And we are well known to blend like to have like red tobacco and very boutique tobacco. We work with small farmers that they grow tobacco that pretty much big of the company didn't don't grow it anymore. So
Okay.
so we can have like some unique flavor from Dominican tobacco. And I remember like when we started like a La Barba Red and La Barba Purple, and all the cow was like a Easter Standard. Easter Standard was one of that blend. The Long Live the King and King is Dead. It was a blend that Robert and me were working together. Robert had like a song idea about the Long Live the King. He had a song idea about what he wants to blend in this cigar, on that cigar, and then we developed together the King's Dead. We a Dominican rapper, Negrito. Um, and it's a very unique tobacco. So I remember when I went to United States after we released that project for Cowell and La Barba, everyone was like, "Yeah, we're smoking a lot of Nicaraguan cigar. We're smoking a lot of this, a lot of that." But when we smoke the cigar, it's like it tastes earth fresh. So it's something way different. Like that is not on the market, and it doesn't taste like a typical Dominican tobacco. So I will say that's being our strength, and it's been very cool to work with those companies, with those people because we are like at the same generation, creating new stuff in the Dominican Republic, and also came out with all those cool packaging, all that. So it's been a super cool experience. And then we started also to work with Matt Booth. Uh, Matt Booth have a way different palette of Tony and Robert, and he's very sharp about what he likes and what he wants in the blends. But also gives me more freedom to work on my stuff. He just tell me I want something like this. Can you create something? So he can give that freedom to work and create some more my style blend. Because
Yeah.
Robert and Tony they have more participation on the blends that we create for them.
Okay.
This band is aluminum,
Yes, it's metal band. It's a metal band.
bro.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, while it's still on the cigar, it almost seems like it might be just really heavy embossed paper. But
Right.
Garrett takes the band off, and it's a metal band.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's
So-
you don't see that every day. That
No.
couldn't have been easy to get metal bands made.
And you're not sheeping out on the band. No, if you heat it up a little bit, that glue loosens.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
That's what I
I'll
did.
slide it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go twisting like this, and it came out easy.
Yeah.
Oh, you twist the okay.
There. See.
Yeah, like you take a little corner and then you go twisting. So after all that experience with all those boutique brands that we have the opportunity to work with, I think it gives me like a good knowledge about branding, boutique brand, the market in the United States, even the style of brand that I want to develop. That was my dream from the first time that I was in the cigar industry to do my own brand. But it took me like 10 years to really define myself like in concept that I like. So even when I started at Ventura, like I wasn't I kind of lose my focus on designing and branding and all that because you can't. I was concentrate very much on the blending, the tobacco, the factory. That take a lot of time. So it's kind of take you focus off the creative side. Um, so I met myself. That is a Swiss sommelier. He has his own cigar lounge in Switzerland. So he came to Dominican Republic. And he wanted to do like was like a private label for his shop. And when he showed me the concept and the name, I was like, listen, I don't have those cool ideas, but I have a similar name and a similar concept for a brand that I've been trying to develop for a long time. I think you should not use that. So, uh, so, so he told me like, what do you think if we partnered up together? I was like, why not? Let's do it. I love the concept. He showed me all the idea that he has, the design, the names, the history behind. So he have a master marketing. He loves to create new things, and I think it was a great partnership because it gives me the freedom to focus on what I can do best, and he can be developing new things all the time. So
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
that's how everything started in 2016.
Yeah.
But then we took like 2 years trying to develop blends, packaging, all the design, and we really started like harder in 2018. We released the Aventura cigar in Switzerland and Dominican Republic first. Then we went to Germany, and then in 2019, we released the cigar in the IPCPR in the United States. So we've been in the market for a year and a couple months. I would say a year and a half in the United States.
What I know, so about, I want to say it was 8-10 months ago that our friend Ronnie hit me up on Facebook and said, you've got to try this. And he sent me a sample pack of some of your first release stuff. And I was blown away. And it was fantastic. And I immediately told Matt, I was like, I have no idea who or what this is, but it's fantastic. And, just a few months later, we were looking to not only get you on the show, but get more of your cigars. Yeah. And I'm really excited. And just to check in on this cigar, bro.
Yeah,
it is so special. Everything about it I love, from the artwork of the band. I'm going to see if we can get the camera to focus, because this Connecticut broadleaf is gorgeous. It is toothy in the most beautiful way. Come on.
It'll focus on your hand first.
Oh, it's not going to do it. Oh, well, just believe me. It is. If you know what toothy looks like in a band or in a wrapper, that is this cigar. It has these just little beautiful bumps, and the flavor is still sweet, yet now it's picking up in spice. It's more of a darker chocolate, almost espresso, and
there's something in here that I can't.
Oh yeah,
I can't quite place it, but I know it's unique. It's different.
Yes.
I can't quite.
There's not a thing I can point my finger on.
But I dig it. I like it a lot.
I love what is happening in my mouth right now.
Do you know what was my brain when I was blending that cigar was like the whole time, like I want that cigar. When people taste that cigar and someone given the same cigar on Bandit, they can recognize the cigar. So I want to create like a very nice mark on that blend, so it can be very unique for an Aventura.
Yeah, I think you hit that, because it's definitely there's something going on there that I don't recall. I don't recall tasting this kind of a flavor from a Connecticut broadleaf wrap cigar before.
No way.
The thing with the broadleaf is a very intense tobacco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Flavor wise. So you don't put the blend in the right way, I will say the flavor of the wrapper gonna is not gonna let shine the blend that you put in together. So, for
Yeah.
example, the filler, the binder. So, I think that was what took me a longer time to get down point. So you get uh the filler to have that participation to complement the wrapper. The main focus in the blend is the wrapper, the Connecticut broadleaf, to
Mhm.
give the
Yeah.
shine to the Connecticut broadleaf. Also to have a combination that you can appreciate the filler that we're using on it. So is all the tobacco that we use in there? They have a lot of strength, but the thing is, there's two different kind of strength. For example, we age the tobacco. There's no aged tobacco that gonna give you a hit in the face. So when you age the tobacco for over 4 years, you're gonna feel the body. You're gonna feel nicotine after you finish the cigar, but you're gonna have that clean flavor in your mouth. All that sweetness, all that nice
Mhm.
boundary that tobacco can give you.
Well, and
So.
I'm drinking a bourbon right now, and it pairs really nicely with the bourbon because um, the bourbon's got also a lot of sweetness and some spice to it, but that kind of brightness from the bourbon balances really nicely against the darkness and the richness of this Connecticut broadleaf, and it's a really killer pairing.
What are you drinking? What kind?
It's Old Forester,
Mm,
so it's a nice pairing, definitely.
nice. So,
So
so you have a better understanding about the whole line with the rotary term. So, for example, the whole brand, the history behind the brand is like at the beginning of everything. So, how the cigar industry started from the beginning, like when the Europeans came to the Caribbean, they find out the tobacco, they bring back the tobacco to the European uh, uh, continent, and that's how we started the commercialization of the tobacco. So, for example, the first line that we have is Explorer, and then we have the Navigator, then we have the Conqueror, and then we have the Royal Return. The Royal Return is like when they like the Roger family financed the um, Christopher Colon and all those people to discover new land, and they came back with a gift, and the gift was gold and treasure from all those lands that they've been conquering. So that's why it's called the Royal Return, and each blend is called the Queen's Pearl. That is a gift to the queens, and the King's Gold. That is the gold for the king. Um, but everything follow like in history: the Explorer, the Navigator, the Conqueror. So and we try to be as much informal as possible with our cigar. For example, if you want to know the history and the blend of every cigar that we put out, you just can go to the barcode, and right in the barcode we have a QR code, and when you scan it send you directly to our website, and on the website, when you scan the barcode, you're gonna have the all the description for the blend with all the tobacco that we use in the blend, from the wrapper, filler, binder, flavor profile, aging that we do on the tobacco. Uh, Sometimes we do some in-house fermentation for the tobacco, so everything is gonna be there.
yeah, so
So
I'll show this on the camera. Here's one of the bands. There's that QR code. So we encourage all of our viewers and listeners, pick up some of these cigars and scan these QR codes, and you can get all the info about those blend. Garrett's got it pulled up right now.
Just scanned it, and it gives you all the details of the wrapper, binder, filler, aging, and yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that.
I appreciate that as a consumer, and I know a lot of other consumers really appreciate being able to just quickly scan that and know what it is that they're smoking, because then they can start to build their own taste profile, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the main reasons when um, everything with boutique movement started in the cigar industry, it was to educate the consumers. So uh, for me, on each step that we take is like we doing something new, but also we letting know to the consumers what we are doing. So to have that kind of information right in the hands of the consumers when they light the cigar and they go like, "Wow, what is that? Like, when from where did I get the flavor that I'm getting? You know, what I'm tasting here." So they being able to scan the QR code and check the tobacco that they're smoking, so they have a better understanding about what is the flavor profile that they get it from.
Yeah. No, I love,
I
and
do
we're
too.
all about that here. I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons, you know, how About That Cigar exists, is to teach consumers and especially teach consumers the things that we should be talking to our friends and family who aren't really cigar smokers, just to help them understand how different these products are than other tobacco products, just to get the word out that these are special products made by hands out of fully natural tobacco leaf. It's none of this nonsense that you see in cigarettes.
Yeah, or scan your vape juice bottle and find out which country the bathtub was made in that made your juice. Yeah, no, this is this is all good stuff. And you know, the more that we talk to you, Henderson, the more I love what your company is about and how you started out and all the things that you're doing to make this company great and put out not only a fantastic product, but a product that is easily accessible to, you know, find out all the information that people need to find out about it. It's just, bro, you're gonna kill it. You really are,
Thank you.
because the first three cigars that I smoked of yours was the Navigator, Explorer, and um, I don't know what is the green one.
The box press.
The green one is not even the portfolio. That's a cigar that we use it for charity. So we have a charity program here in the Dominican Republic to help like all the family for the rollers.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so like we have to understand we are a third world country,
Yeah.
and the rollers and all the people that work in the factory to give you a good quality that you don't need to be rich to buy the cigar. Uh, is sacrifice some of those people with the labor, and they don't have the best life. So as we can grow our business, we also want to give something back to those people,
That's
and
fantastic.
that they feel part of this project, and and that they have like a straight benefit from that besides the salary. So last year, that's a cigar that we released in Switzerland last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, so we already sold 4,000 cigar of those in Switzerland. They come in 5 pack. They come in wet pack. Uh, and and all the profit from that cigar goes through those roller family. Last year we give about 400 pair of glasses.
Mm,
We have a doctor to do all the tests for the eyes of the rollers and all the people that work at the factory. Uh, I will say about 60 people. They needed the glasses, and then we went to other factories in the town in Tamboril uh, to do the test to the people that work there and whoever that needed we give it away.
Mhm.
So we also have a clinic that is like a hospital and a doctor that she did some collaboration on that to help us with the project. So, and
That's
every year
beautiful.
we try
And
to
we
do.
appreciate that. Anytime we hear about that.
Yeah, the thing with like the glasses, they're very expensive. So there's people that have any problem, with their eyes and stuff like that, but they
Yeah.
don't have the money to afford it, and we're just trying to help with that. So every year we will try to do something different for them, to help the kids, to help those people that support us with the effort, with the art of making cigar, and this is something that we fully appreciate, and we want to give something back. So this is the whole concept behind the green, and it's called a piece of heart, as we call it the cigar, a piece of art. We call it that project piece of heart, by something for our heart to give it to them.
That's
So
beautiful.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, the fact that you're not only building a company, you are really building a community and investing back into that community, which will in turn continue to grow. And um, you keep throwing stuff on us that how do you not love this
That's
company?
That's what it's all about. Is
Yeah.
keeping those, because in Dominican Republic and other cigar making countries, we want people in the States who buy these cigars to recognize and understand where the products come from and the people who make them, and the
families,
the families and the needs that these families have to just sustain and live every day. And to hear about companies like yours and other companies that go the extra mile. You don't just make cigars. You, like Garrett said, you make communities, and I think that's really important.
It's
I
huge.
I think it's very easy to understand when you come from that same spot.
Yeah.
My dad was a roller. We luckily have the opportunity, with the effort of my dad and the knowledges and his effort to learn more every day, to have the opportunity to have our own company, and have a better life. But um, in some point, I want those people to have a better life also.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it's not just to give them something. We everything that we do in the factory, every project that we're making in the factory, I want every people that work in the factory to understand the project, to have a culture for quality, um, and to understand cigar, to understand the tobacco. So when they're smoking a cigar, everybody in the cigar factory, they smoke cigar. Everybody
Yeah.
in the factory, they smoke
Yeah.
cigar. So I have a lot of people that they're gonna be to me like, "Hey, Henderson, you told me this about that cigar. I think if we use that tobacco, it's gonna change a little bit." And I was like, what is wrong with that tobacco? No, it's just that build that is not looking the same. So just to make them part of the project and to make them understand every project,
Yeah.
they have an identification for that, and they want to do it good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They want to shine with that, because
Yeah.
that's what I want to show them. Like, if you improve yourself, you can improve your life in the future.
Yeah.
And as much as you learn, it can give you more opportunity in the future also, even to have your own business, to have a better position, all that. So that's my kind of motivation for the people
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you this. I was reading an interview that you did with a magazine, and you brought up something that I have to know more about this, because it seems like a really interesting concept. And you said that when you're blending and working and choosing different tobaccos, you play this game with yourself called the what if game. So tell us more about that when you're playing that game, that what if game with yourself during blending. What is that all about?
So the thing is that there's two different stories. For example, it's way different the way that we smoke cigar in the factory as consumers smoke cigars.
Okay.
So every time that we're making a blend, we're trying to translate what the consumer gonna like how they gonna interpret the blend. And for example, we retrohale all the time. So for us, the strength is not in the mouth, is on those. Like what you call spicing through the on the retrohale, that's the strength for us.
Yeah.
So but I'm not trying to adjust the consumer to the matter to the manufacturing experience. So I trying to teach like the people in the factory to to the consumer's experience. And for example, I have different way how to start a blend. Uh, if we have a start point, what we're looking for, or if we just tasting tobacco and we put some tobacco together that tastes amazing, and we want to develop that blend from there or from here. So we have like a three tobaccos that we use as bases. That you can never go wrong with those tobaccos. They're always gonna do a great blend. And then we have all the tobacco that we use as complements. So that's all that's are the layers. For example, you have the main flavor and then you have layers of flavors to complement the smoke. Uh, and also you have like a sun tobacco that maybe you not used to blend together and you put it together and they taste amazing and then you try to complement that to have um the consistency on the blend, the balance, the complexity, uh, the strength level. So um, this is a very deep topic to talk. That can take like about an hour more. Yeah.
Well, no, we appreciate being able to, because for us when we review cigars, when we smoke cigars socially, it's a whole different thing than when we sit down and completely just focus on every flavor and aroma that we get from a cigar to actually review it. And that's one of the fun parts for us is trying to, and as we're doing it, we train our own palates to learn how to find different little new things with flavor and aroma. And that's one of the best parts about it for me. And we want to help other cigar smokers try to learn about how to sit down and really focus on those flavors and aromas that they get, because I think it's one of the most fun parts of enjoying a cigar is being able to pick out those flavors and aromas.
I will say, for example, there's a few things that I pay attention when you tasting a cigar. First of all, there are some people that can tell you like I don't know how you can find out all those flavors in the cigar, or how you can understand or describe a cigar like that. So the main thing with that is the focus. When you are smoking a cigar, if you paying attention, you focus on the cigar. You can understand what is going on. You can identify when where are you feeling the stimulation in your mouth, what is the flavor notes that you get. So this is focus. And the other thing also that is very important for me when you're smoking a cigar is how you manage the smoke. For some, like there's too many points that can change the smoking experience during the cigar. That can be the condition, so the humidity.
Mhm.
Uh, and another thing is how fast you smoke each cigar.
Yeah.
If you smoke very fast, you for sure you're gonna get more strength, more peppery, more spicy, a little bit more bitterness. If you smoke it slower, you're gonna taste more the sweetness, all the aromas that the blend can give you, and also it's gonna depend on the age of the cigar.
Yeah, and I think a
So
lot of people are afraid to let their cigar go out, but you really shouldn't be. If it is smoking at the, you know, if you're a slower smoker and you're lighting it, ever so often, that's okay. It sometimes can mean that it's, a little bit more humid than maybe it needs to be. But if you're really enjoying the cigar and you're enjoying the experience and you're talking or whatever, it's okay to relight your cigar a couple times as long as those flavors are still performing for you and doing well. So don't be afraid or don't think it's a poor cigar if you have to continue lighting it, as long as it's an enjoyable, you know,
I
situation.
smoke my cigar very slow, but my technique for that is how you hold your cigar. So, for example, I hold my cigar like this all the time.
Yeah.
So I
Same here.
put like a one on my finger, like a half inch from the ash. So
Ah,
when you put the finger like a half inch of from the ash, you can measure like the temperature of the cigar. If it's too hot there, you're smoking too fast. But if it's too cold, the cigar is about to go off. So is very cool. Like when you holding the cigar, you can know like I need to puff my cigar, or or you need to slow down, and smoke a little bit slower.
So I
This
just
is this is just something that I do and works for me, and I think that's the right way. That's the best way to mention how fast you smoke your cigar.
yeah. And I just finished up the King's Gold and I'm firing up the Conqueror right now. And it's amazing how and I encourage everybody to do this when you're going to smoke multiple cigars in a day. Um, it's such a different cigar.
Woohoo!
Lighting up this Conqueror after the King's Gold. It's and that can also and it helps me to understand and taste those different flavors and smell those different aromas. Is to follow up a cigar with a very different blend, and because it makes you appreciate the differences between the different kinds of tobaccos that you're enjoying.
mm-hmm.
So, do you know what's one of the nice thing that we have in Dominican Republic? The first thing is like we grow so many variety of seed of tobacco. Just from Dominican Republic, we have around 14 different kind of tobacco that we grow here. So that gives us the opportunity to create way different flavor profile from one blend to another blend. And another thing, we have access to pretty much all the countries that grow tobacco also. And we're not afraid to say that we use tobacco from this place and this place. This is
Mm-hmm.
our beauty, that we can create blends with different tobacco, and we can give you an experience. From one country, we can give you an experience from many different tobacco and create a whole different blends. So when we release a cigar, it's not just gonna be another Aventura. Yeah, it's gonna taste like the last Aventura. No, it's gonna be a whole different experience that you should try and see
Yeah.
what new we have.
Yeah, completely different than the King's Gold. Um, it is smooth.
I call that cigar an old-fashioned style, like a very good old-fashioned cigar with a younger spirit. So
Yeah.
if you've been smoking cigar for over 15 years, it's gonna remind you to an old, very good cigar from the Dominican Republic, but with a little bit more strength and more body.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. Mm-hmm.
So good. So good. So of all the cigars that carry that have the Adventura name, is there one that you can think of that is the one that you reach for just to smoke more often than any other?
Do you know what's the thing is, on my point? As I work in the factory and we blending new cigar all the time, every time that you create a new blend, you trying to improve what you did in the past. So always the new cigar should be better than the last. And you kind of stick with the new cigar all the time for a
Yeah.
while until the next one.
Yeah.
Until the next one. So, but is crazy. For example, the King's Gold is a cigar that is so unique and and very it goes so well with my palate. That is a cigar that I call me all the time. That I want to smoke that cigar all the time.
Yeah.
It's give me everything that I'm looking for in the cigar.
Yeah.
But when I smoke the Conquer, it's give me like a memory all the time. Like what? I forget that cigar was so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's one of the cool things is that is really true that cigars do, because aroma is one of the strongest senses that takes us back to memories.
Yep.
And that's really true about cigars too.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I smoke a lot, one my favorite sizes, all the small ring gauges like Lancero and Corona. So, for example, in the King's Gold, I smoke a lot of Corona. It's crazy how the flavor come out of the Corona on that blend.
Yeah.
And I smoke but that's a cigar that is not released yet.
Yeah.
And the Lancero on the Conqueror is a limited edition that we do every year. And that's a cigar that I started for myself. So it's the same blend. It's the same blend of the Conqueror, but it has some small difference, so big difference. And the difference are like all the tobacco that we use in the Lancero is being aged for 7 years, and we're not using Saco Viso Hero. All the tobacco that we have on the Lancero is old Viso.
Okay.
So it's give you a better consistency on the smoke for on a small ring gauge, so doesn't smoke like on the sides, this and that. I spend a lot of time blending Lancero cigars. That's one of my favorite Vitola.
Yes.
Yeah, Garrett's the same way. Garrett, absolutely. I love good Lanceros, but Garrett, that's his go-to Vitola is Lanceros.
Me gusta and Lancero.
So every year, by the end of the year, late November, beginning December, we have that drop of the Conqueror limited edition. We call it Emperor Edition Lancero. So
all right, I'm looking for it for sure.
Yeah, we smoke like a small amount of cigar because we aged the tobacco for 7 years. So whatever we have in stock from that tobacco, that's what we make.
Okay. Nice. Well, I think is it time?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I think it's time. So we're going to move into this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, guys, Numero de los Muertos is brought to us by Smoke In Cigars. So if you would please take just a moment to watch and listen to this message from Abe DeBabna and Smoke In Cigars.
On February 20th, 2021, we will be taking on the endeavor of putting on an 8-hour virtual event, one like you've never seen before. For your ticket price of approximately $169 delivered to your door, you will get the TGS Party in a Box. This box will be filled with everything you'll need for our virtual event, including opportunities to purchase cigars at epic deals, epic packages, and some very special exclusive cigars being made from us by some of the most epic manufacturers in the industry. Carlito Fuente, Pete Johnson, Steve Saka, Aganor Salif, Perdomo Cigars, just to name a few. There's a very limited supply. Head over to thegraysmoke.com, purchase your ticket, and get your party in the box. We'll see you soon. Peace.
All right, guys. Time for everyone's favorite segment of the week, Numero de los Muertos, brought to you by Smoke In Cigars. So, Garrett, take it away.
All right. So, this week's number is brought to us by the Caribbean. 46 people a year die in the Caribbean from this.
46 people a year. All right. So viewers and listeners listeners, if you're listening after the fact.
I mean, you can guess.
Yeah, you can guess. But viewers, put your guesses in the comments. Henderson, you and I are going to kind of play a guessing game with Garrett here on this. So every year in the Caribbean, however.
Yep, however you pronounce it.
46 people die from this.
Yes.
All right, and what is that thing that they die from? The Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
we got a guess. We got a guess from Josh. Is it spearfishing?
It is not spearfishing.
Not spearfishing. So does it involve? Is it in the water?
It can be.
But it doesn't have to be that.
Correct. Metal poisoning.
Chad says metal poisoning. That sounds weird.
That does. It's not. But I'm going to need some help on that answer.
26 people.
Scuba accidents. I like where you're going, Josh. You're thinking local, but think a little less water. It can happen. It does happen out in the water, but it also happens on land.
Okay.
And here's a little hint. It is mostly tourists.
Okay, mostly tourists.
Alcohol overdose.
Ooh,
that's a good guess.
That is a great guess. No, but alcohol is probably involved in a number of these.
Oh, I bet I know what it is. So a lot of these places where people go to vacation, they get boozed up and they take a tour on a moped or a scooter. Is it scooter accidents?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
On the water, because some die in the water.
Oh, some on the water. Well, yeah, scooter / jet ski. We already did jet ski.
We did jet skis.
Yeah, we did those.
Mm-hmm.
See, even Chad is stumped, and Chad is a champion at this game.
He is a champ. We should get Carlito back guessing. Carlito Fuente guessed the correct answer last week.
What was that?
Last week was cruise ships.
Yeah.
People falling off of or disappearing.
34 people a year die, and 2 people go missing on cruise ships globally.
All right, so in the Caribbean, 46 people every year
Mm-hmm.
die from this. It's not scooters. It's not jet skis.
Hurricane.
Oh, hurricanes. Is it hurricanes? That is a really good guess.
Look that up.
Is it high tide?
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, parasites. Chad says parasites.
That's another great guess, Chad. It is not parasites.
Okay.
So you're a tourist.
They're mostly tourists. What are you doing when you're a tourist? Is it sun poisoning?
Yes.
Really?
Sun exposure.
I got one. This is the first time in months
A
that I've
long
guessed one right.
time that man has
Really?
got sun exposure.
Is it really?
Yep.
All right. So I will tell you this, so in 2017, my wife and I went to Punta Cana for vacation. And there was one day that she and I, and you know, I'm a pasty white guy, and my wife is a redheaded Irish white girl, and we got way too much sun one day. And Chad was typing it just as I said it. And one day in Punta Cana, my wife and I got way too much sun. And dude, it's for real. It's the sun in Punta Cana is not the same as the sun in Minnesota. So if y'all go down to vacation in the Caribbean, it's no joke, man. Put on if you're a pasty white dude, put on the heavy sunscreen, man, because you're gonna get messed up.
You're gonna get burned.
It was bad, man. I did a tour the next day. I was scheduled to do an all-day tour at a cigar factory. So I'm walking around the cigar factory just in agony, in so much pain, because I spent too much time in the friggin' sun the day before. So don't do it.
We have a permanent tan here.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like a cigar from outside your house to the car, and from the car to your job or whatever, you get sunburned every day. The sun here is intense. Yeah.
So yeah, 46 people a year, which, I mean, that's a significant number.
Yeah.
You know, of people just dying from
just
sun exposure.
Put on the sunblock and just sit. You know what? And then the next couple days, we got our beach chairs and we found some palm trees and hid underneath the shade in our beach chairs. And I was sitting there smoking cigars and drinking drinks, and that's how we spent pretty much the entire rest of the vacation, was just sitting up.
You learned the lesson. Do you know that you can even, if you're at the beach, you can even get tan, even in the shadow. Just with the heat there.
Oh.
And one of the articles,
they reflect from the light of the sand.
Yeah. Oh, from the sand?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the articles that I read, it talked about both the reflection of the sand, and it talked about it's actually more dangerous on cloudier days because people feel like they're not going to get sunburnt, or they're more protected by the clouds, which is not the case.
It's not.
No.
You get the same sunburn even if it's cloudy.
Yeah.
So Chad is asking how many hospitalized. It was in the tens of thousands are hospitalized from severe sunburn or sun exposure, heat stroke.
Wow. I don't doubt that,
but only 50-ish.
Because most tourists who go to Dominican Republic are idiots like me. So don't be an idiot like me. Get in the shade and put on your 50 sunblock.
Man, the thing is, like, you get out the winter there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you minus what, 16 Fahrenheit, you say?
Yeah.
And you get here from there, you just want to get sun in your skin.
Yeah.
But you need to be careful. Put the sunscreen. And get the feeling, but put the sunscreen.
Yeah.
Do you ever wear sunscreen if you're going to be out in the farm or anything, or are you kind of just used to it?
Now, when I'm doing a sport or something like that I get exposure to the sunlight like for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
But not like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. As always, Numero de los Muertos brought to you by Smoke In Cigars. So, all right, Henderson, here's some questions that have nothing to do with cigars. They're just for fun. If you could hear the thoughts of one living person for 10 minutes, who would it be and why? You get to hear what they're thinking for 10 minutes.
I will send my dad.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah,
I do love that answer.
Yeah, that's good. All right. If you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
I never thought about that. But they always a soundtrack that is always in the movie, like on the 300 movie.
Oh yeah.
That is like a very classic, like old school music.
Yes.
It's war music.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it.
That's good. I like that.
I like that a lot.
I like the music from that movie has got that mix of metal and classical
classic music. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So choose one of the following. You could hit a home run as a starting pitcher. You could score a touchdown as a defensive lineman. You could score a goal in a hockey game as the goalie, or a goal in a soccer game as the goalie.
Or football, as you call it.
The first.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you played baseball. What position did you play?
Catcher.
Oh, you were a
yeah.
catcher.
Yeah.
That's a tough position.
That
dude.
is a tough position.
How are your knees?
I'm not in the best condition right now, but I used to have big legs from that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played catcher
it's build muscle all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're doing squat the whole day.
Yep.
Yeah. My brother was a catcher back in the day, and he was really good actually, and he could throw guys out trying to steal second pretty good. He became pretty good at that.
I have a good hands for catcher, but the thing that didn't help me with that was my arm. I have the best arm to
throw them out.
Yeah, I was forcing myself all the time, and I have an injury.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this week's notable smokables. So every week, Henderson, Garrett and I mention one cigar that we've smoked recently that was interesting to us. It could be a cigar that's brand new on the market, or it could be a cigar that's been on the market for a really long time that we just had the chance to smoke again for the first time in a long time. So obviously you're smoking a lot of stuff in the factory all the time, but do you have chances every once in a while to smoke something outside of your brands? And have you had anything recently that you thought was good or interesting?
Yeah. I have friends that give me cigar all the time to try. But the one cigar that I found that was very interesting was like some of the Aladino cigars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Aladino.
Yeah.
I really like the Aladino line, and I just tried their, well, not just, but just reviewed their Cameroon in the Lonsdale size. That's really, really good cigar.
Yep.
Mine was on Saturday. I smoked probably one of the best cigars I've had, which was a 1997 Opus X. It melted my mind in my face. It was incredible.
Well, and Garrett was nice enough to give me one of those too, and I also smoked it on Saturday. And
do you know what's the thing with Opus X?
What's that?
If you smoke like a great Opus X on one day, and somebody asks you like which one you had, you're gonna be like, yeah, it was Opus X, but you're not gonna remember which one.
Yeah,
this is true. Yeah, that's right. I know there are some people who know like every size name and all of that.
Yeah,
I'm not there. I just know that at that time in '97 they only had a few offerings, so I'm pretty sure it was just the classic Opus X.
Yeah, it was the Bellicoso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You research before, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, that's got to be mine too. I hate to piggyback off of Garrett's, but that has to be mine too. There were some, and I noticed in my show notes I forgot to change mine from last week's, but there were some other interesting things I smoked this week. But that one has to take the cake because it was, it's just not often that we sit down and smoke a 22-year-old cigar or 23-year-old cigar. So it's if you guys and we recommend this to anybody. When you buy your cigars, buy some to smoke now and smoke regularly, and then set some aside. Not because you're trying to hoard cigars, just because it's interesting to see how cigars can change and develop over the course of 2 years, 5 years, 20 years. It's fun to experiment with that stuff.
You know what was amazing? So before the show, I smoked a cigar that was aged for 16 years.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
How was it?
It was amazing, and even more for the age that cigar had. But the thing, that cigar has a history behind. So that cigar, a master blender, Eladio Diaz, the master blender for Davido, gave me that cigar 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He gave me that cigar 3 years ago. So he have a health issue, and he was very delicate. So when he was recovering, I went to his house with my dad to visit him, to check out what how he was, and he was cool, he was fine, but he wasn't smoking cigar. So he went to his humidor in his house and he picked up 2 cigars, one from me, one from my dad. So he was, I want you guys to smoke that cigar, because I need to smell the cigar at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if I cannot smoke. So I was like, so I told him like, listen, I'm not gonna smoke the cigar, because that cigar I'm gonna smoke when you get better and you can be able to smoke, and we're gonna smoke that cigar together. So I saved that cigar for 3 years, but I don't know. Every time that we have the chance, like to spend a moment, we never have the cigar with us.
Right.
I have that cigar for a few months that I've been looking. Every time that I open the humidor, I'm looking at that cigar and was like, I've been saving the cigar for 3 years. Until now, I was like, I want to smoke something different and nice age. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke the cigar.
Yeah.
Smoke the cigar. 16 years of age, but I was supposed to smoke that cigar with Eladio.
It's so nice to be able to do that sometimes. Try those old cigars.
Yeah.
So for our viewers and listeners, I want to give you guys an idea of some stuff we have coming up in the next few weeks. Next week on the 15th, we're going to talk to none other than Bear Duplessis from El Oso Fumar Takes. He's a good friend of the show. He was actually our first ever live guest way back in the day on How About That Cigar Live. And then the following Monday night, we're going to talk to Alec and Bradley Rubin. You know them as the sons of Alan Rubin, who started Alec Bradley Cigars, and they're off and running with their own brands and their own blends in the past few years. So excited to talk to them about how all the stuff they've learned from their dad along the way and the things that they're doing with their blends. So Henderson, give all our viewers and listeners a final idea. Where's the best place for them to keep up with all the latest and greatest info from Adventura Cigars?
I will say Instagram, Aventura Cigar, and also the website www.adventuracigar.com. On Instagram, we have a nice campaign, giving information about all the cigar, all the lines, all the blends that we had. We also have some giveaway there during the first quarter of this year. So we also bring a lot of more information about our process, our philosophy for making cigar, the growing, the process, the manufacturing, all the concept behind the brand. So Aventura Cigar on Instagram, www.adventuracigar.com.
Nice.
They can find out all the information from us there.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, Henderson, we are so grateful. We had a blast talking to you tonight. We hope you had a good time, and we appreciate your time. We learned a lot from you, and we wish you all the best with your brands going forward.
No, thank you very much. I also have a great time. It was I feel like I've been talking to friends for a long time. So
Awesome.
thank you to make me feel comfortable. No, it's been great. I'm gonna be doing all my best, to keep bringing great cigar, to keep bringing great concept, new concept, that the young generation of cigar smoker can feel identified with us, and can find out something new, and unique in the
Nice.
cigar industry. So, yeah, check out everything that we have there. On my final touch, I would say. We have in every blend we have a unique tobacco that are very different to every single blend that we have. I would say probably with any other cigar in the cigar industry. So we're here to stay, uh, and we try to control every process that we're doing as manufacturing to keep improving, keep the consistency, and to do our best.
Yeah. Amen. We love that. We love that.
Yeah.
Hang with us in the studio even after we go off the air, before we say goodnight to all our listeners and viewers. Guys, we thank you so much, as always, that you've spent time with us tonight on Facebook and YouTube watching. If you're listening on the audio podcast, thanks so much. As always, follow us on social media at HBT Cigar. If you guys have questions for Garrett or myself, you can find us on howaboutthatcigar.com and send us an email directly from there. And as always, until we see you next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
And
Thanks,
by
guys.
the way,
Yeah.
thank you very much for Ronnie Hayshe from Secreto. He being a great supporter from us. The first guy that trusts in our project, and I've been very grateful all the time that he's like the best ambassador that Aventura have in the United States. So thank you very much, Ronnie.
Yeah. Ronnie's a good friend, and we love the guy. And he's, he had these cigars for us to purchase when some other shops didn't, and we encourage those other shops to get on the ball and get the Adventura cigars on the shelf.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Oh, I think my computer locked up.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Can you still hear us, Henderson?
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll give it a second here. My computer seems to be kind of locked up, so
we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live, I think. So this is yeah, we'll give it a second. I don't know, it's weird. It's never happened before.
I wonder what happened. Hit the F5.
I'm finishing my cigar and my wine here, so we're cool.
No. Well, we'll give it a second. We might still be live.
We are still live.
Are we still live?
We are.
Oh, nice.
We're frozen, but Henderson is not.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That means the StreamYard servers are working properly. Even when my computer goes to shit, Henderson's still good.
I'm surprised about my internet.
It did really well, man.
Yeah, honestly, you know, internet in Santiago can be kind of touchy sometimes. So it's been great.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I think I'm on a full. Yeah, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just the browser or is it everything?
It's everything.
Oh, wow. It is totally locked.
Good times. I'm on full lockdown.
Well, we're the only ones. I'm the only one watching now. There's only one viewer, so it's just us in here.
All right. Well, through our locked up computer, Henderson, I just want to say thanks again. Even though we're off the air, we're really grateful that you took time to spend with us tonight, and we've been looking forward to having you on the show for a while. I got to see, like I said, I got to read some interviews from you and see you on some other shows, and we were excited about your story. That's why we wanted to have you on. So man, thank you so much.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you very much to you, Matt. I really appreciate that you give me the opportunity to be on the show. I know we are a new brand. I've been on the manufacturer side for a long time, but this is a new project that we're trying to put together. And I really appreciate the support from you guys and to pay attention to what we're doing and to appreciate what we do also. So thank you very much to have us on the show and give us the opportunity to talk to your community there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll keep getting the word out. And if you ever have anything that you want to, if you have a new release or a new, any information you want to get out to our listeners and viewers, shoot me an email or send me a Facebook message, and I'll put a story up on the website about it.
Absolutely. We have we're not bringing any new blend this year because we just released the Roger Return last year, and it's still one of the hottest cigars that we have right now, so we don't have to take attention out of that.
Yeah.
But we have some new release this year, but it's just like new sizes that we're putting out for our portfolio in the United States. So, but I will keep you updated of everything that we're doing. I'll send you email with all the information. And thank you very much, man. For sure, I'm gonna appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, have a good night, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good night, man. I hope to talk soon, and I'm here and for anything you need.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Henderson.
Thank you. Have a great night.
See ya.
Okay, bye. See you.
I gotta do the old-fashioned
The thing.